you're. And they're really, they think they're Catholic. Well, I'm going to let off. Maybe get healed, and at the same time, got to remain piracy.
For the thing.
Yeah, we closed down at 6:49 is when we shut off the computer,
Alright.
so. And that was
Let
8
me go
questions,
to. Tab.
and then the closing statements, yeah.
Take our arts and crafts projects.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
What time is the polls close over there?
I think seven to
Uh,
seven or six.
I thought it was 6 day,
I don't know.
but
You know,
I don't
sometimes I
The
say
road's
something.
open.
yeah, the road is open, exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
And they're here already, so they know the way.
yeah. Yeah. So.
Already got people waiting. How many?
4.
Okay.
So far, I know most of them.
I've had quite a few people ask, will this be recorded? Can we share it? Well, you know,
Yes and yes.
yes and yes. So there's a lot of,
Is it only on, the Fort Hogg website again?
right now, we're the only ones that are doing a meet the candidates. Now, I've heard that well, I don't know if it is or not, but someone has said that the PTO may have a
Debate though,
the
not a,
debate, not a meet the candidates. And then and a lot of people said, if you're gonna meet the candidates, how come we can't meet them and ask them questions ourselves? And so, you know, we've done this for years. We actually have not this same format. A lot of times we'll ask, here's the question, what do you say? But this seems to be the most fair and open way to do it. And each person gets to see the question and not, um, uh, what did you say, or have to write it down or stuff like that. And then, we have people that,
There you go, Carolyn.
Hello, everybody. And I'm reading off this so I can make sure to do everything. Good evening and welcome to Meet the Candidates for the Fair Oaks Ranch City Council Place 6, and it's hosted by Fair Oaks Ranch Homeowners Association. I am Teal Harris, and I'm the FORHA Secretary and the co-chair of FORHA Nominating Committee. I'll be hosting tonight's event, and I'm joined tonight by Todd Terry. Thank you. One of my fellow nominating committee members, and he's our member at large that has joined the committee. So I'm very grateful for him volunteering. Shelley Neighbors, who is our FORHA Business Operations Manager, and FORHA Assistant Community Manager, Jessica Batters. Thanks everyone for joining us online this evening, and I extend a special thank you to Matt
Reigelsberger.
Reigelsberger. Reigelsberger and Jonathan Swark with an A, for making the time to meet with us this evening and giving the residents of Fair Oaks Ranch an opportunity to get to know the candidates running for our City Council of Fair Oaks Ranch. This event will begin with each candidate taking 3 minutes to introduce themselves and provide an opening statement. After introductions, we will go straight into our question answer portion of the evening. Prior to this evening's event, we requested questions from the membership, and we have 12 questions in sealed envelopes that our candidates will choose when it's their turn to answer first. In each envelope, there are 3 copies of the same question, one for myself or Todd. We're going to kind of take turns reading the questions. 3 questions say, well, one for myself and to read aloud, and then each candidate will have a copy so they can read it also. Each candidate will be asked the same question and has 2 minutes to answer, and we will alternate who goes first with each question. The 2-minute timer will start when the candidate begins their answer. When the candidate's time is up, we will pause for a moment and give the time monitor, it takes a second to kind of reset itself. And then we'll give the other candidate the same question. We will try to get us through as many questions as time allows, but we want to make sure, we want to try to do this within an hour, and we want to make sure that we give the time for the candidates to have time for a closing statement. And they have a 2-minute closing statement. You know that? This is being recorded, and the recording will be available on the FORHA website, FORHA.org, and it will be on the front page, so it's not something you will need to sign into, and you will also be able to share it. And we will try to get it posted as quickly as we can, but it will probably be
Hopefully by the end of the week.
by the end of the week. Yeah, we'll get it posted as quickly as we can because it has to do something. Anyway, thanks again, everyone, for your attendance this evening. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce our candidates. The way we are going to do this tonight, again, with the coin toss, we're going alphabetical order. Y'all real close, but Matt is going to go first, and we will flip the coin. He'll call a coin to see whether he goes first or not with the introduction, or can choose whether you want to go first or second with the introduction, right?
Mhm.
And then the same thing as with the closing.
Yes, ma'am.
And whoever goes first with the introduction will be second for the first question, right? Sorry.
That's
We're
fine.
trying to make everything really clear and clean. So for this, are you ready, heads or tails? And so we have heads, and our tails is, I think Massachusetts, well, I don't know what state it is. Anyway, it is heads.
All right, I'll open that, right?
You can choose to open or.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and open.
Okay, so that's fine. So thank you, Matt, for
All right.
opening on that.
Thank you, guys. Hello, everybody.
Hold on.
Thanks for- oh,
Oh, wait, 1 second.
No,
Let her get
timer
her
first.
timer
Okay.
thing. Yeah. This runs as smooth as silk.
Do you want to flip now for who's gonna close? So we have that just ready to roll. Do you want to break then?
No, we'll break. We'll do it at closing. Is that good? I think that makes it interesting.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Then we'll figure out where to be.
All
What
right.
happened?
No.
Okay,
Good? Okay.
you're good.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining tonight, and thank you, FORHA, for hosting this event. For those that haven't had a chance to meet yet, my name is Matt Reigelsberger. I want to start with a quick introduction of myself and my background, and then share why I'm running for council. My family and I moved here to Fair Oaks Ranch in 2017 while I was serving on active duty in the Army JAG Corps. During that time, I worked as a national security and intelligence legal advisor at Fort Sam Houston. My role required top secret clearance, and I was responsible for advising on rescue and recovery operations during Hurricane Harvey and missions related to border security. After nearly 3 years on active duty, I transitioned into my current role as a cybersecurity and technology attorney at a local financial institution. I also continue my service in the Army Reserve as a national security legal advisor. Fair Oaks Ranch is a truly special place and has given my family and me so much, and that is a big part of why I'm running. I'm originally from Seattle, Washington, and I've seen firsthand how quickly a great community like ours can change for the worse when we stop paying attention to policies and who's in office. The first step in preventing this is making sure we have active and healthy elections and engagement in our city. When I noticed that my opponent walked into office unopposed last year and was set to run unopposed again, I had to step in. Win or lose, elections are in the best interest of Fair Oaks Ranch. If elected, I want to focus on a few key priorities. First is safety for our kids. I'm proposing a simple ordinance to designate our parks and trails as child safety zones. This would create a 2,000-foot buffer zone, making it illegal for registered sex offenders to live in or use those areas. Several cities, including New Braunfels, have already implemented this, and I believe it's important for our city to be proactive on this issue, not reactive. I encourage all of you to go online and look at how many offenders live within a 3-mile radius of your home. From my address, which is across the street from the club, there are 9. Second, I do not support implementing any tree permit requirements to cut down trees on your residential property. Residents in Fair Oaks Ranch understand the value trees bring to our community, and we need city council, and we do not need council to tell us what we can or can't do with our trees in our own backyard. And finally, I believe strongly in ethics and professionalism in local government. Residents deserve transparency and trust from their elected officials. That means avoiding conflicts of interest and always putting Fair Oaks Ranch first. City leaders should be required to disclose any financial interest in property and should be prohibited from advocating for or voting for any type of rezoning that would result in personal financial gain. I'm looking forward to talking more about these issues tonight and answering any questions you have. Thanks again for being part of the process. One plug, I do have a happy hour at the Roost tomorrow, starting at 5 o'clock. So if I didn't answer any of your questions tonight, please join us at the Roost. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And you were totally within your time, but Shelley,
I'm gonna
Oh, yeah,
let this
ladies.
run out so you can hear what it's.
Oh, I thought I was out of time.
no, you weren't out of time.
All right,
So,
you're fine.
So
It will be
it'll go
red.
ding, and that's when you're completely
Right.
done.
so first it goes to green. Yeah, it'll ding.
Okay, so wait for it to ding. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're fine. You were good.
You're well,
But,
when you start talking,
well, can we test it?
Yeah.
Can I talk right now and see if it actually swaps over here?
So it
So
started
we
there.
tried
Yeah.
to, all
Yeah,
right,
it
a
is.
little bit more, maybe?
Yeah.
No?
I'd probably come into the table.
Should I? All right,
Yeah.
we'll scoot close.
There you go. It'll pick you up.
All right, how's that? Yeah, all right, I think that's good.
Okay. So you're ready?
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Go ahead. Okay.
My name's Jonathan Swarrick. I've been on city council for a little over a year. I've volunteered prolifically in Fair Oaks since I moved here in 2020. I volunteer with the PTO group. I volunteer with the Rotary Club, which sees us volunteer with a host of different organizations around Fair Oaks. I volunteer in the city, of course, and as part of that, I am one of your local city council members. I have earned the respect and as well as the endorsement of the full city council during that time. Part of the reason for that is I ask a lot of questions. I question everything, and those questions often change policy, they shape discussions, and they save us a lot of money. And just in the past year, I've actually led our team to restructure our bidding process to where now we're getting 10 times as many bids on big money projects that come into the city. I've also reshuffled our public works department and with a focus on bringing more work in-house rather than actually paying contractors. You know, I'm looking at the equipment in the yard and I'm saying, guys, we could do a lot of this ourselves. So we're actually seeing the fruits of that labor now. My priorities are long-term growth management. I realize that we have a water resource that is finite, you know, and we can't divvy that up to, you know, very far without growing outside of our means. I'm also very concerned about public safety, which we are. We're in the top 5 safest cities in Texas, and we are the safest area in San Antonio. I hope that I'll earn you guys' support tonight, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so now Jonathan gets to pick the first question, right?
I think that's what, yes, that's what you said.
Yeah, you get to pick, you'll go first with the question.
I don't care.
So we're gonna-
Matt, you go
again,
first.
but-
You go ahead, Matt. You go ahead. Yeah, you want to point out, you go ahead.
It really doesn't matter. whichever vote-
Yeah, let me.
Cause we're flipping a coin for the thing in the end too, so that's fine.
Sorry.
This one?
All right, we'll just go.
I don't know how long closing is.
So it should be 2 minutes for the.
Closing.
Okay, we're
Closing
doing,
is 2 minutes as well, yeah.
yeah, so 2 minutes to answer the question, and I'm gonna read the question out loud for the members. And then when you start the question, when you start answering, we will start the timer. And, okay, the question is, do you have any interest or involvement in any professional or personal projects that could lead to or be perceived as a conflict of interest if you were a member of city council?
My answer is no, and that's again, one of the reasons I'm running. That was in my opening statement. I think we have to have some type of code of ethics where, everyone on council needs to disclose their personal financial interests. I know my opponent may have more of those than I don't have any. But I think anytime you are advocating for rezoning, going door to door in a capacity of your council as a council member, that is unethical conduct. And it should be prohibited.
Okay. Okay, and Jonathan?
That's a fun question. My answer is also no. So I did have some interest in the empty lot that's behind the Spotted Deer. I actually met with the Windermere Unit 2 HOA president first and foremost, and I said, hey, man, would you guys be open to like another type of spotted deer back here by any chance? And he said, well, it would take a supermajority vote. I worked closely with Forha during that process to make sure that we absolutely covered all bases and checked with all the residents. Forha said, well, what you're gonna need to do is go get the resident input. So we did, a team of me and my partner's wife. We did go knock door to door, and what we found that over 50% were in support, but it was close enough to where, it didn't look like we were gonna quite get the 65%. So we did walk away from that, about, I'd say, 4 months ago now, but like I say, the HOA president, Tamer Goxel, he was actually in those talks the entire time, as well as Forha. So the answer is no, I have no interest.
Thank you very much. Okay, so now you pick, so this was.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just go with this one right here. Go ahead, Steve. All right, there you go.
Hello, Internet. You wanna read this one?
Sure. All right. Based on the 2026 strategic plan survey, one of you consistent feedback item was managing growth. Do you have ideas or thoughts on how we can further protect our community from the growth that is surrounding our city?
Who's first?
You're first on this
You can
one.
let me know when. So yes, I absolutely do. And I've actually done a lot of this already. So the Post Oak subdivision on Ammon Road, it was actually slated at 644 houses. What council did while I was there, while I'm here, we looked at the water that we had and we said, we don't have the water to support that kind of density over Fair Oaks. So we cut that number down to about 230 houses. What we're doing now is we're staying at a 1 acre minimum. So whenever you put in to build in Fair Oaks, you get a water token. It's called an LUE, a living unit equivalent. We're only handing out one of those tokens per acre from here on out. Another interesting opportunity that we've got that city staff knows that I'm ready to go on is working with our county partners on maintenance of county roads. What it would do is give us a seat at the table if somebody wanted to build an apartment complex near our city or on a road that is adjacent to our city. And I'm really excited to bring that forward to council in the next 3 years.
Thank you. And then,
Ready?
yep,
Not quite.
oh, wait, hold on, sorry. Y'all are fast.
Ready?
Yeah. I would say one thing, as part of my platform is, again, the child safety zones, making sure we are proactive about, child safety and safety in general in Fair Oaks Ranch. The other thing about water, I do agree with council's efforts to, prioritize water conservation. One thing I think is lacking from our 2026 plan is a way to advocate for or work with the state level to, get more water resources. We cannot conserve our way out of a drought. We need to be advocating at a state level to make sure the state is making sure we're doing things like water desal plants on the coast or new ways to, clean wastewater for use.
Perfect. Okay, so Matt, it's your turn to pick first. And then she'll, you can hand it here, yeah, I'll do this one. So 1, 2, sorry. My ADHD. This is another resident question, and we try to put, anyway. FOR, Fair Oaks Ranch needs more strong, proven leaders, not just followers or individuals who simply go along with the group. Please provide specific examples where you initiated and led a major improvement for a business or large organization. You, not just being part of a group or committee that did. And so Matt, you're going first on this one.
I think the first thing that comes to mind is I chose to run for office. There was an uncontested seat. I stepped up, I actually took the lead. Yeah, I think that's my answer.
Okay, perfect. And then Jonathan. Oh, wait,
Yeah, you got it.
sorry.
Let me know when I'm ready.
Y'all are fast. We're gonna get through all these questions tonight.
So this is a fun question for me. I have lived on my own since I was 16 years old. Went to college in Arkansas, started farming in Mississippi in my early 20s. I farmed up to 10,000 acres for 10 years. I grew corn, bean, rice, cotton, catfish, cattle. Didn't want to raise my family in Mississippi. I had a crew there of about 20 workers that, would help me tend to my crops and manage the land that was under my control. I moved to Texas and I built an oilfield services company in Tilden. I grew that up to 42 employees. I respected every man and I earned the respect of every man as I led them through that oilfield services company. We had workover rigs, we had saltwater fleet. I mean, you name it, we did the whole 9 yards. And every single employee that I have ever had, with the exception of one, has told me that I'm the best boss that they have ever had. I get on council and I can tell you within a year, I'm meeting with city staff and some of them are telling me, Jonathan, wow, man, I'm just glad you came in here. And then we actually bring change to council based on those conversations. So I've been a leader, so it's yellow now.
You're good.
You're good.
I've been a leader my entire life and I don't expect to stop now. Right now I'm focused on my family and my city. That's where my focus will stay.
Good. Thank you very much. Okay, so the fourth question, we'll wait a second.
You're good.
Well, yours to pick, the fourth question.
Let's just keep going down the road here, or we'll take the top one.
You need that one if you want.
I don't have to make it through all of them.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Okay, this is a resident question and it says, what are your current and past business roles? And how will you apply those business skills and experiences to improve the operation of Fair Oaks Ranch?
This one goes to me
Yes.
first?
Yeah.
All right, you just let me know when you're ready. So I just covered this in the last question, so I won't repeat my history here. My current business role, I've picked up real estate all through my entire professional career. I will say that I still manage my own real estate. I buy and sell properties in Mississippi and Texas as well. As far as how that relates to the operations of Fair Oaks Ranch, I have saved you guys a fair amount of money, I look at public works projects, I look at every project I can get, and, I'm looking for the least expensive, most effective option. And I'm also looking to do things in-house. Recently we had our engineers actually do some engineering work in-house that saved us thousands of dollars. And during that council meeting, I told them, I said, guys, I am so proud of this. I'm so proud of the way that we're growing and how financially sound we're becoming because of these efforts. And I will continue to do that.
Thank you. And, Matt, oh, sorry.
My current business roles, I'm a cybersecurity and technology attorney at a local financial institution, like I stated in my opening. I have experience advising high executives, including the CEO of that company, which means I'm not scared to push back when things cross a line. My experience in the JAG Corps, I was on active duty for 3 years, locally, was actually mobilized to LA over the summer, during the riots. I understand how to get to yes when we need to get to yes, but also I'm not scared to push back. We need to make sure we follow rules, and make sure that we have someone in office who's not scared to push back on council, when we're crossing a line, or maybe the residents don't want to go that far. I think, the current council, feels like they're kind of getting along to go along. And I think you'd be able to have someone who's not scared to push back, someone who's kind of on the outside.
Thank you. So Matt, your question 5. And I'll open that one. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this question is a resident question. If your
There we
your
go.
constituents in a certain area are opposed to requests to change usage of an existing residential lot that would directly impact their community, how would you handle this situation and support the community's desire? And so Matt, you're first on this.
So I think this is related to the first question that we got. And I think when I was knocking on doors, a lot of people had an issue with my opponent. The fact that he did go door to door advocating for rezoning in a HOA where he didn't live. I know he said he doesn't have a personal financial interest in that. I don't believe that. And I think if you looked at the records and the contracts, and the meeting minutes from those HOA events, I think anybody who, would only knock on doors to rezone something for their own personal financial interest should violate a code of ethics on our council. So how would I handle this? You will never see me knocking on your door as a member of city council advocating to rezone residential property to commercial, especially since we have 3 or 4 mixed use lots that are available and several commercial lots as well. The only reason why he wanted to rezone that lot is not because we needed more commercial space. It's because he had a personal financial interest in it. That's my answer.
Yeah, I'm ready. So first I want to ask, is it okay that we attack each other during
I
this?
think it's a fact.
Is that in the
It's a fact
rules?
what happened.
You tell me.
So,
Okay, so that's, so you can think about that.
Happy.
You can think about that while I'm
But-
answering this question.
Okay,
All right, so the fun thing about, well, I won't address that. I've already addressed that. I have no interest there. The residents didn't want it, so I walked away from it. You can reach, I'm talking.
okay, yeah.
We can reach out to the
Yeah.
HOA president of Windermere Unit 2 and ask him, and he will tell you himself, right? Or Forha was involved as well. The fun thing about this question is I was actually on the Strategic Action Plan Steering Committee, and I placed a new priority on the Strategic Action Plan that is community engagement. What it is a commitment from the city to get better at capturing resident input and making sure that we have your opinion whenever we're talking about things like gateway monuments, community centers, or what have you, how the city spends its money or how the city spends its focus. And yeah, I won't address any of that, that's, again, just check with Forha, check with Windermere Unit 2 HOA president.
Okay, so question 6 is you, and I hate this.
It makes it fun. Come on, Teal. It's
I
all
know.
in good sport, right?
So your number, you get picked
You
to
pick
pick
first.
number.
All right, yeah, you already know that right there.
It's all, I do think we as Forha ask we ask for member questions. And so, when we ask for those, anyway, we have to respect our members, because that's what, for us. Another relevant question. And so this is question 6, and Jonathan,
Oh, I get to go first.
you're first on this one.
All right.
A resident question, describe your legal knowledge, business leadership skills, professional accounting, financing, or other proven business skills that can be applied to improve Fair Oaks Ranch, the city of Fair Oaks Ranch.
So I'll start in order here. Well, legal knowledge. So the fun thing about farmers in Mississippi is in the wintertime, the fields are wet, so we sit around and we sue each other. That's all we do. So I have been through countless depositions, defending my position, defending the positions of my friends and families and neighbors. I'm very comfortable in a courtroom. Like I say, I've had businesses for nearly 20 years now, so there's nothing that I've seen people try to get over on me that, you know, I wasn't able to fight back in some legal manner. Business leadership skills, you've heard a lot of it. I can tell you that I'm a very good leader. I'm very confident. My men trust me. When I have companies, I tell every man, you know, I'll never ask you to do a job that I myself wouldn't do. I'm personally volunteering right now with a community outreach program I've done one for BISD, and I'm doing one right now for our local police forces and our sheriff's department, specifically on that fact, because we ask our local police to do a lot of the jobs that we wouldn't do. And I'm attending those just to make sure that they know that I'm there towing the line with them, or at least understanding it. Accounting and financing, my wife is a CFO. She's done my taxes. You don't want me to be your accountant, but we have a CPA on staff right now, on council, and we also have 2 lawyers on council right now as well.
Okay, thank you.
As,
And wait one second, quickly. And just to clarify with you guys, so the green is like, we have 2 minutes, like a minute and a half. The yellow is like 30 seconds.
It's a minute 30.
Oh, minute 30, sorry. Just so I didn't make y'all close too quickly.
Sure.
I think we've already answered most of these, but I think as far as legal knowledge and how, it can impact our city, I did like to see that in the plan for, 2026, one of the goals was to maintain effective emergency preparedness. As my background in the JAG Corps was that, so there's a FEMA, incident response plan that's used from local, all the way down from local to state level. I understand that process. So if there's ever an emergency or Fair Oaks Ranch needs to take care of something, if there's some sort of disaster declaration here, I understand that process. That's what I do in the Army. We did it for Hurricane Harvey. We did it in LA. So that's a specific thing. I think that matches with our strategic plan. As far as leadership experience, I'm a major in the Army and I have 16 years of service in the military. Business skills, been working as a cyber security attorney for a business now for about 6 years. So all those skills, I think there's a reason why we have attorneys on council. And I think it's because we're good at doing that job.
Okay, thank you. And so Matt, you're gonna pick the next question 7.
Oh, you can keep that if you want.
If you want, yeah, you can keep
Yeah,
that.
right there's your time.
And you just pick one.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, another resident question. Have you ever actively served in the military? If so, where and when?
I feel like these are redundant.
You gotta love these questions, right?
I know, but I
Yeah.
felt like
Yeah.
these are redundant, but when we were going through them all, it's like, well, these are a lot different, but maybe, I think you guys are all asking the same questions at the same time. So, sorry, anyway, not to.
Yes,
We're-
I've been on active duty orders several times, whether it's for training or operational missions, like I said in the opening. Yes, I have several order sets, where I've been on active duty. I think there's a misconception here. Active duty and then the components. So you have the Compo 1, which is active component, Compo 2, which is National Guard, and Compo 3, which is reserve. You can be part of one of those components and go on active duty orders. So I go on and off orders all the time, which I think what they mean here, actively serve, that's active duty. I'm also serving in a reserve capacity currently as well. So yes.
Okay. And Jonathan, oh, sorry.
You gotta wait, you gotta wait. Come on, Jill, Kelly's got it.
I know, someone's got it. but-
Okay, now we're ready?
Yeah.
So the answer is no. Out of college, I took the pre-ASVAB with the Marines, and did very well on it. Then I got a call from my family and said, hey, look, Jonathan, we got this farmland. We're gonna have to let go back if we don't do something with it. So I had a choice to make. I stepped in to help my family. I respect everybody that has served in active and, reserves as well. So no, I have not, but I respect those that do. We have 2 military leaders on council right now, and we have a strong military community, and I'm happy to live here.
Thank you. Okay, so you get the 8th question.
So you already know. Yeah, sir. Yes, sir.
Keep going down. Okay, I'll read this one. So here we go. And sorry, I'm doing it for weeks. And so Jonathan, you're first on, hold on one second. Based on the 2026 strategic plan survey, one of the consistent feedback items was preserving our character. This includes quiet neighborhoods and a sense of safety as a top priority. How will you make sure this happens?
So I was actually on the steering committee for the strategic action plan. I'm very familiar with this. What came up the most was all of the HOAs. We have over 30 HOAs in the city, and figuring out how we can make them, get them all on the same page, or take their input as it relates to city matters at the same time. That's something that we're studying under the community engagement piece. I'm excited to bring that to you. I'm excited to tell you that I'm the champion for that community engagement piece. And I'm excited to see what you guys have to say about it, including the quiet neighborhoods. Sense of safety, we are one of the top 5 safest cities in Texas currently, right now, this year. We have had hundreds of people in Forja and in the city over the course of our existence to work and make sure that our parks and trails and city in general are safe. We are safe. I've heard it talk about, child safety zones. And that's something that's never been brought to council before. I would be open to talk about it. I have my reservations is most of the way we understand it, most of those crimes are not reported. Is there somebody that's close to the family household? So they're never on any child safety or any kind of predator list. 95% of the cases that are prosecuted are first-time offenders. So they're not on any kind of list that would see them not be able to go to the parks or not be able to live within a certain distance of the parks. Again, public safety is our number one concern, keeping everybody safe. We have a new police chief. He's doing a fantastic job. I encourage you to reach out to him. He'll tell you that the parks and trails are safe. The noise meant it's time.
No, you got
Okay,
30
well,
seconds.
Okay, it's okay. Go ahead.
So
Thanks,
I'm gonna
Jonathan.
let you hear what it
Well,
actually.
it did make a noise then. Yeah, go ahead.
Warning.
Okay.
But that's a warning, and then,
I would just go on to talk about how great Chief Smith is. I recommend everybody go by and talk to him, come to Coffee with a Cop.
yeah.
Got a flash now, okay.
Yeah,
That's it.
All right.
so that's
You
what
get
it should
30
sound like.
seconds still.
Sorry for y'all, but yeah, don't
Okay.
feel rushed.
Okay.
I don't feel rushed at all.
Okay.
Action.
And then, hold on one second, let her, letting,
It's auto in, you're good.
yeah. Oh, you ready?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Step out of line.
Yeah, I think you guys know where I stand on this. I think, child safety zones would be a great objective on the strategic plan. I don't know why it's not there. I think my opponent saying that people who offend are never on a predator list, I don't think that's accurate information. We have an opportunity as a city because of our parks that wind through, Fair Oaks to actually insulate our city. So if we are a top 5 safest city, let's act like it. Let's be proactive about it. I don't see a negative here. I think the reason why council and my opponent don't like the idea is because it didn't come from them. Other cities in Texas have done this. New Braunfels implemented this in 2021. Kyle, Texas has done this. Tyler, Texas has done this. Fort Worth, to Texas has done this. It should be an objective in our plan. What else? As far as the strategic plan goes, I think there's a lot of really positive components to it. One thing I wish that we did include is, as far as quiet neighborhoods and safety, making sure we're adding in golf cart mobility. That was part of a huge thing on our comprehensive plan from 2018 that seems to be missing going forward in our strategic plan. I remember when I first moved here, seeing the golf carts go around, it was one of the reasons why we moved here. So one way to make this a safer city is to do child safety zones, making it illegal for registered sex offenders basically live across the entire city. And also having a sense of safety is seeing people in golf carts with kids on the back. So, thanks.
So, Matt, you're taking the next question. And y'all fast.
We are gonna get through all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go. You got some more? Let's go. Let's keep it. Y'all got questions?
Good job. Y'all did good. Question 9,
Thank you, sir.
Matt's going first, yeah.
Okay, this one, it says, what was it about Fair Oaks Ranch that ultimately led you to choose the ranch as your home? What did you do, what do you believe are the 3 greatest strengths of the city of Fair Oaks Ranch?
So again, I think we already mentioned one was, seeing the golf carts drive around. I think that's something that we should prioritize, in our planning, is making sure it's a golf cart friendly neighborhood. 2, I remember when we first moved in, and this is, just speaks to the character of this place. Coming from Seattle, Washington, neighbors aren't that friendly, right? We moved in and we had a neighbor across the street walk into our house with cookies and sandwiches. And that's the kind of place that I want to protect. This place is special, and people who haven't seen cities on the coast that have failed due to policies and the way that things have gone over there don't appreciate how special this place is. So my motivation for running is keeping it that way. Also, we have a great school system. Our kids are, one is at Messiah, one is here at Fair Oaks Ranch Elementary. But all those things together, this place is worth protecting, and you can't find a place like this across the country. So those are my accomplishments.
This one's gonna be a little hard for me to get through because I have to tell you something. When I had my oilfield services company, I was leaving at 4 AM. I was getting back at 9 PM. I had a newborn daughter. She was about 10 months old. I was holding her one day and I realized that I didn't know if she was ticklish. I didn't know what she liked to eat. You know, I didn't know what faces to make at her to make her laugh. And I realized that I was getting so caught up in my work that I was neglecting my family. So we made the choice to move. So I sold my company and we moved to BISD, as it is the clear winner when you're shopping for schools, right? We landed in Fair Oaks Ranch, just headhunting BISD. And once we got here, you know, the 3 greatest strengths I can tell you, we have so many volunteers in this city. And I've met so many of you guys, and I'm so thankful to have worked alongside some of you guys. That is our absolute greatest strength. You know, our city is founded on volunteers. Our boards and committees are filled with volunteers. On top of that, you know, our community is so interconnected. Everybody gets along real well. Even if we have our differences, we still go to the country club together. We're still at the games together. We're still at the schools together. And I would say the last greatest strength is the way that our city is run and the way that it is, what it has grown into over the years is something that we can really be proud of. We have other municipalities study us, right? They ask for our opinion. Other police forces, they want time with Chief Smith. He has a leadership class now. We set the example in just about everything we do. We're Tree City, you know, we're in the top 5 safest cities, and those are definitely the 3 strengths that I see in Fair Oaks Ranch.
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
You get to pick next.
Oh, well, you already know.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. I'll give one to Jessica to give to Jonathan.
Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to make it easy. Okay. Based on the 2026 strategic plan survey, one of the consistent feedback items was infrastructure reliability. What areas of infrastructure do you feel need immediate attention, and how would you address that?
This is me first?
You're first.
Okay. So this is a really easy one, and whoever asked this question, I want to assure you that we have whole committees that study this for us, for council, right? They're volunteer-led. They do a fantastic job at helping us rank them and helping us figure out cost. They work with city staff. We have engineers on our city team that kind of help us with that same ranking. If you're asking, you know, what needs immediate attention, Dees Elkhorn Road. We're gonna rip it up next year and reconstruct it. And if you've seen the traffic there, or if you've seen the construction there, they're actually moving the utility lines. So that's next on the radar. We're gonna go to Almond Road after that. Stormwater drainage needs a second look. I'm actually really excited. So as a farmer, right, I have dug a lot of ditches. As an oilfield services company, I have laid a lot of pipe. Stormwater, wastewater, I'm super excited to get into those. I have built almost as many miles of roads as we have in the city, so I'm fully confident in my ability to navigate these tasks that are laid out before us and ranked by committees and by city staff. And those are the two that are immediate attention, and we are going to address them. They are already being addressed.
This is where I think we have some common ground. I think road maintenance, I was glad to see that the deeds at Elkhorn Road, we're gonna add wider shoulders, so there'll be shoulders on both sides. I think that needs to get extended all the way down to HEB. Again, going back to golf cart mobility in Fair Oaks Ranch. Almond Road, I know somebody who was hit by a vehicle while riding their bike on that road, so again, making sure that when we are rebuilding roads and resurfacing roads, that we keep mobility as a top priority, making sure that they have wide shoulders, so you can either do golf carts or bikes.
That's
Okay,
your turn to pick.
Oh.
Yeah. go ahead.
turn to pick.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
What do you consider to be the most critical challenge facing our community right now? Please list any areas you believe the city of Fair Oaks Ranch would improve upon, and how would you address them?
I think sorry. Again, I think we have already talked about this issue. I think we agree on this as well. Water, this is something we're, as not just Fair Oaks Ranch, but as a state, are gonna have to deal with. We have to get creative about ways to create water resources in Fair Oaks Ranch and protect our water resources. Advocating for and building coalitions with other cities to make sure we're not just protecting places like Canyon Lake, but also securing more resources at a state level. Growth, right? How do we manage growth? And I think the person you want in the seat, you want to make sure that they understand that growth is going to happen and we have to manage it responsibly with constant feedback from our residents. And that's something I can promise I will do. During this campaign, I had multiple events where people could actually come to me. We talk. I had 3 events at Spotted Deer and Ice Cream Social, and we do have the happy hour on Thursday. So I just think, or tomorrow. So I just think constant resident feedback and how we manage that is crucial.
I gotta wait on her.
I know.
gotta Wait on the light. You're looking at me like I should go.
Yeah.
So the biggest issues are responsible growth management. Yes. I've gotten my hands dirty in this topic for the past year. I have been to conferences all over Texas studying this and how to get ahead of it. I've implemented several ideas already that are actually working. Our water resources, they are finite. We do have enough water. I don't want you to walk away from this going, oh my God, we don't. We have enough water right now for the plans that we have for Fair Oaks. We're going to take your input and see how we go from there. We're actually going to have access to more water in 2034. SAWS is letting go of some of their contract. We're expected to get a share of that. I'm going to say that for me, one of the most critical challenges facing our community right now, I'm going to say the safety of our kids, and this is not what you're thinking, right? Electric motorcycles. We need, I want to talk to you guys about this. We need to educate our kids. I ride a motorcycle, and it's a dirt bike with a license plate, right? And they see me and I see them, but what I see are 10-year-olds riding wheelies down the parkway, and that worries me as a parent. I think that child safety starts with good parenting. And it's absolutely up to us to make sure that our kids know the rules, whether they're 14 years old driving a golf cart or 10 years old on an electric motorcycle going up and down the road. That's something that we are actively studying right now. And I would say that it is the most critical challenge to us. You know, often you'll see a police officer with a group of boys and I love to see them out there. I love to see fellow motorcycle riders, but I want them to be safe. And I want us as parents to have conversations with our kids and let them know, you know, you're in traffic, man. You know, you're really taking your life in your hands. You need to keep your head on a swivel. You need to make sure that you're obeying the traffic laws. And you need to make sure that the motorcycle that you are driving actually is legal for you to drive. If it goes over 30 miles an hour, it's not legal for a kid. And there's the buzzer.
That's good. Okay, so Jonathan, you're the last one on this.
Wait, that's not the one I want. It's the last one.
It's the last one. This is it.
Oh,
I know, I mean, y'all are efficient.
Pile of trash over here.
There you go. Okay, another strategic. Based on the 2026 strategic plan survey, one of the consistent feedback items was public safety. I swear, these didn't seem so redundant. when we
Yeah,
went
they sure
through
did.
them.
Did y'all write these? I don't
No,
know.
we were like
Really?
picking,
I don't
anyway, we picked these from,
I've heard somebody say.
people can
Mhm,
feel free to
mhm.
feedback is all I gotta say. Based on 2026, one of the consistent feedback items was public safety. What areas of public safety do you feel need immediate attention and how would you address it?
And this is me first, right?
Jonathan, you're first, so feel free to repeat.
So what I just went over, I do want to stress again, you know, we need to get child motorcycle safety under control, and we're gonna need you guys' help with that. You know, it's not something that the city can do on our own. We can't be everywhere. If we had a child safety zone around the parks, we don't have officers to go out and easily enforce that and check everybody. You know, Forha is in charge of safety of the parks. They do a very good job at it. They study it every quarter. At least every quarter, I'm noticing that park safety is on the Forha agenda in some form or fashion. Right now, they're studying how to secure the parks at night, you know, and there are hundreds of people that study this question. But we can't do it ourselves, and we can't rely on our police force to educate our children on absolutely every safety topic. You know, and we can't just write policy that keeps everybody safe. I would say that for me, you know, that's the immediate attention is we need to get the word out. Really, I really want you guys to talk to your kids about the electric motorcycles if you can't tell already. And I'm sure some of you also share that opinion. So I'm just gonna spend the rest of this time just saying, talk to your friends. You know, if you know a kid with a motorcycle or if he lives down the street, just go talk to their parents. Don't come off as holier than thou. Just come to them and say, hey, man, I know these things are fun. And trust me, I mean, I can ride a wheelie just as bad as far as some of these kids, but I don't do it on public streets. You know, I do it on private tracks. And those are the conversations that need to be had. You know, we need to be able to talk to these parents and these kids and say, hey, man, I see that you're enjoying this. I love that you're going to the golf course with your golf clubs. I love that you've got fishing poles attached to the back, but we need to make sure that you're using these vehicles responsibly.
Yeah, I think you guys know my answer to this one. I think we make the child safety zones an objective on the 2026 strategic plan. There's a lot we can do, and it's just simple ordinance pass. And I think when I agree that kids on electric motorcycles going 35 miles an hour is dangerous, but it shows you there are kids and children utilizing our streets, our parks, our trails, and we need to secure those. It's an easy ordinance. I don't know why there's so much pushback. I would love, win, lose, or draw this, to work with council to make sure that that's an objective, to make sure it's an easy thing to do. Child safety zones, other cities have done it. Makes it illegal for registered sex offenders to live within a 2,000-foot buffer, insulating the entire city. And Forha enforcing their own safety, that's great, but as far as using law enforcement to pick up somebody who, with our flock cameras, we can ID when somebody is a registered sex offender coming into Fair Oaks Ranch. If they go park at a park current state, there's not much we can do about it, 'cause it's not technically illegal. They're trespassing, but it isn't a crime. So implementing child safety zones, put it as an objective on the 2026 plan.
Okay,
So now we got outros.
So now we're
So
gonna
now-
flip a coin. Yeah.
we're gonna,
see who
we
goes.
have.
I just let him pick.
So,
That's how it
no,
works out.
don't mess, don't mess up.
Well, what you want to do, just in case I win, you tell me.
It's up to
Wait,
you.
it's up to
So-
you.
Heads.
So,
We'll go ahead.
go ahead. So, yeah, you,
And then he picks it.
if you want to go first or last with the thing,
Closing.
with the closing.
Go ahead. Let's see who wins. Tails, come on, tails. No, it's heads.
It's heads.
All right, Matt, what do you want to do?
It's up to you.
All right, I want Matt to go first. I feel like he wants to go first.
Okay, you're,
Thank you.
whatever works. Okay.
All right,
Better sit down.
ready?
Mhm.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. First of all, this process has been an eye-opening experience, and I just want to thank everybody for coming out to support me, being involved in local elections. I think you guys know my priority is child safety zones, making sure we don't have permits for trees. If council shouldn't be involved in cutting, if you want to cut down a tree in your backyard, you should be able to do it. I can promise you as well, I will never knock on your door as a member of city council advocating to rezone a lot in your neighborhood. It's never going to happen. So thank you for joining tonight. If you have any other questions, again, I've got the happy hour tomorrow at the Roost starting at 5 p.m. Would love to answer any questions that weren't answered tonight. And again, thank you for the support. I really do believe in service. I think the biggest impact that I could do to serve Fair Oaks Ranch was to run. It's been difficult, and I think my opponent can say it's a ton of work, but it's definitely worth it to bring these new ideas to the table and actually have an open dialogue. So thank you, guys.
Wait, can I have some water first?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah. No, you're
Get a
good.
coffee taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
Ready when you are.
Good.
I want to start by thanking Forha for putting this event on. It's been really great. I want to thank you for everybody. I see 3 pages here that have tuned in already, so just phenomenal response. Thank you guys for caring enough about the city to watch this. Again, I'm Jonathan Swarek. I'm one of your local city council members. I've been on city council a little over a year, and in that year, I've done more than some city council members in other cities ever do, you know. I'm having a blast. I volunteer with the PTO. I want to shout out to them. I volunteer with the Rotary Club. I want to shout out to my fellow Rotarians. I volunteer with a bunch of community outreach projects, again, with BISD. Shout out to Community Leadership Academy, Citizens Law Enforcement Academy, which sees Bernie Police Department, Fair Oaks Ranch Police Department, and Kendall County Sheriff actually learn a lot. So if you guys are ever interested in volunteering in any other avenues, please reach out to me. You know, like I say, win, lose, or draw. You know, I can absolutely get you guys plugged in. The one that I'm tracking the most right now is Hill Country Daily Bread. It's something like I tell you that I've lived on by myself since I was 16 years old. That was not easy, you know. Hill Country Daily Bread actually has a mentorship program. Well, they'll pair you with a troubled teen for an hour a week, right? And you don't know what kind of difference that would make, you know, in a teen's life. So, I'll be at the polls the rest of the early voting, and I hope to see you guys there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you guys both for being here so much on doing this. And thank you for the redundant questions. We swear we didn't seem like they were redundant until you.
I think you said them,
But I do have to say, we're open to any suggestions always
No, it was
from our
great.
members
It was great.
for, how we can do things differently moving forward. So, thank you again for taking the time out of your evening, to join in this Meet the Candidates. And both you guys, y'all did a great job. So thank you.
Matt,
very
thank you.
much. Yeah, thank you guys very much.
Yep, we're good.
Yeah.